Well, what am I going to tell you except the season's done for me. I'm done. I mean, there's no turnaround that is possible in this environment with this owner, with this defensive coordinator, with any player who puts on the uniform. It's just pointless. Everything is pointless for this organization. I don't know what else to tell you. There is no coaching. There's no player accountability. Just nothing. And there never will be. And this doesn't have anything to do with Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, all that stuff. It has nothing to do. I mean, Jacoby Brissett found out you can win a football game, actually win the game and lose the game in Cleveland. He never got a chance. When he finally got that last chance with virtually no time on the clock, yeah, he made a mistake, but anybody would. Because at that point, it's all over. You know you've lost. The only chance you'd have is to have the rookie come out and kick a 62-yard field goal. This is what playing in Cleveland is, why nobody wants to play in Cleveland, why nobody should want to play in Cleveland for the Browns. That's the reason. You can win and lose. You can outplay somebody, you can do whatever it is, and you still lose. And you find new ways to lose. I don't know who number 2 is, but I hope he dies. I hope he has a head injury and dies. What kind of an effort is that on an onside kick? All that cocksucker had to do was just back the ball out of bounds. He didn't even try to recover it, and he's right by the sideline. What's the worst that could happen if he dove after it and he couldn't get it? His momentum wouldn't carry the ball out of bounds. But no. He didn't try. I don't want to hear about Denzel Ward ever again. I don't want to hear about Greg Newsome ever again, the number 1 picks ever again. I don't want to hear about it. They don't want to play football. They're not professional players. Now, and Joe Woods has to be fired. I don't care if he's black, white, yellow, orange. I don't care what he is. He needs to be fired. And the players who are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, the whole game, they were arguing amongst themselves. And I can tell you who the biggest problem on the field is. Grant Delpit. I'd get him out. He's a trash-talking fool who doesn't back anything up. And whenever his man catches the ball, he turns to look at his closest teammate to blame. Sorry. Amari Cooper has to make that play. And I know he's not front line on that, but he's on the hands team. He's got to make that play. That's just not acceptable. He didn't go after the ball. And they were the ones fighting and scrapping. And they're the ones who got the ball. And I turned to Rox, my girlfriend. I just turned to her and I said, the guy who's going to beat them is Garrett Wilson, number 17. I guarantee you he's going to make this next catch. He makes the next catch for a first down. I said, and he's also going to score the touchdown. And he scored the touchdown. They let him run right through. They didn't even try to stop him. They didn't even try to cover him. They played a soft zone, and Koromoa just watched him go right by him. But congratulations to the Jets. They're better. They're the better. They're better than the Browns are. They are. You stop playing. You quit. Get used to it now, because here come the 30-point beatdowns. I guarantee you, and I am prophetic. Here come the beatdowns. On a short week, the Steelers are going to beat down on the Browns because the Browns proved that they're weak-minded. And that's all Mike Tomlin has to see. They're not going to be able to beat anybody. If you can't beat the Jets, God only knows. You had the Jets beat. The second that extra point missed, I turned to Rox and I said, hey, this game isn't over. Right before the bomb, I said, this game isn't over because they could score a touchdown, get an onside kick, and win outright because we missed the extra point. And they always look disbelievingly at me. She's not a Browns fan. She doesn't know. Now she knows. She's initiated. It's like a blood initiation. So they give up the bomb. And there's a 14%, just a 14% chance of them recovering the offside kick. Bullshit. Against the Browns, it's 80%. We know that. That's what happens. No percentages make any sense when your team stops trying. This team, no matter who's on the roster, stops trying. That's it. Greg Newsome stops trying. Denzel Ward stops trying. They're playing in Cleveland, getting their paycheck, and they're going to leave as soon as they can and get good someplace else when they're used in a way that is more agreeable to them and their talents. Nobody wants to play there. To be honest with you, the losing stench on Lake Erie is worse than the stench of Lake Erie itself. I don't know what else to tell you. And it's, and I understand what you're saying as far as Joe Flacco is concerned. Joe Flacco didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He just stood there and threw to wide open people. It was like a preseason game. It was like pitch and catch. It was like touch football. You go into a game like this, and that's what you do. You put no pressure on the quarterback. You do nothing. You just let him go ahead and keep, completing over the middle. And when they punted, I said, man, that's a mistake. No, it wasn't, because they're playing the Browns. You can't make a mistake against the Browns. They will not accept gifts. They will not accept Visa or MasterCard. They won't accept anything except that they're losers. And I feel so bad for a player like Nick Chubb, who's got to get the hell out of Cleveland before he gets any recognition. He's a great football player. And I don't blame Jacoby Brissett. He did everything that was asked of him, and he made one throw where they played a proper zone, where they actually were in a passing lane. We weren't in a passing lane the entire game. Even when they didn't have, I'm just at a loss. The Browns were never in the right place at the right time and never will be. And the players seem to be more intent on blaming one another. That's what I know. And, and that's the fact. Jacoby Brissett just learned what it is to play in Cleveland, and now you're going to see what happens to him. He played the best game he could possibly play, by the way, up to that point. That's the best he can do. And it's not good enough. And yeah, he can yell fuck at the end of the game because he threw the pass that, I don't know. I didn't see the play again. I don't know whether somebody zigged where they were supposed to zag. I can't tell you who he was throwing for. I don't even know who the receiver was because they did not show the replay. But we'll find out, I'm sure, after the fact. But guy was playing in his zone, and the ball came right to him. He had to complete that pass over the middle of the field for a minimum of 10 yards for a field goal attempt to even have gotten up. And based upon what I saw earlier, the odds of it going through, not real good. Not real good at all. And there is, I don't care about the Pittsburgh game. I don't care. I don't want to watch a bunch of players. I mean, what? Where is Myles Garrett when you need him? Where is he? He becomes the biggest invisible man on the planet. I saw at the end of the game, he was complaining that he was getting held. It's like, where? Ah, Ricky! Ah! That's Lucille Ball. I also do Lucille Ball after she smoked too much. Ah, Ricky. It's unbelievable. Myles Garrett complaining. Shut up and do your job. And I'm glad that this goes according to pattern, that more fans show up for the losing shows than the winning shows. And don't for a minute think that, there does come a point at which, with different rosters, different players, different draft picks, different this, different that, same result, that you just have to believe that football has to leave Cleveland. Because anything that comes to Cleveland is going to get poisoned. It's going to go rotten. It's going to go bad. No fun watching this. It's no fun putting up with this. And I've said this a gazillion times before. This is my 19th year of doing this, but I've been watching much longer than that. And I have no faith in the organization's ability to win anything. I have no faith in whoever they choose, whatever draft picks they select. You know what's really amazing? You look at Jacoby Brissett, and you look at his statistics in this game, 22 of 27 for 229 yards. And the thing that is remarkable to me is if you look at 9 receptions by Amari Cooper, 3 for Bryant, 3 for Njoku, including a ridiculous drop, 3 for Chubb, 2 for Hunt, 1 for the rookie Bell for 6 yards, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, Donovan Peoples-Jones. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 0, 0. They threw the ball in his direction once. Remember, that was in the end zone, and he couldn't get his feet down. So Amari Cooper got his 9 catches. Good for him. His 100 yards. Good for him. It's all statistics. Welcome to Cleveland. He don't want to be here anymore. He's going to go the way that OBJ went. Nobody wants to stay in this environment, and I don't blame him. What I do blame are fans who use other excuses. If you don't want to be a fan of the team, I understand the frustration is just too great. I get it. If you just want to walk away because you're tired of losing. I mean, this is hard. My professional career, my professional life, my personal life, everything, winning means a lot. And I don't mean like in a jock sense. I mean making good decisions, getting good outcomes. And let's see what, I don't really know who this is who's trying to get into the program. You'll have to type something in the chat room, and I'm not recognizing if that's Hammer time or not. I can't recognize. If it is Hammer, do something. Wave your arms around and in front of the camera, because I can't. I'm not gonna. So there we go. Good. I can add him to this room. All right. Hello.
Hey. How are you, other than just wanting to take the gas pipe right now?
Yeah, and we're all just saying the same thing, basically, that it's, finished. We're all finished.
The worst part about it was that was the exact same play, exact same defense that they gave up the touchdown on last week. We can figure it out. These are professional coaches.
No, they're not.
And they're getting paid to do this shit.
Joe Woods has never been a defensive coordinator until he came to Cleveland. He's a linebackers coach. You don't know shit about defensive backs, and it's obvious.
And you know what? If you don't know defensive backfields in the NFL, you're pretty much a piece of shit. So, no, I am actually in Wrigleyville right now. I am a block and a half away from Wrigley Stadium. Here on work, but I went to the largest Browns backers group here in Chicago because I knew I could watch the game. Did get to meet Ronnie Woo Woo, if you're familiar with Ronnie Woo Woo.
What's Ronnie Woo Woo?
Ronnie Woo Woo is a Cubs super fan, Chicago super fan. And every time he does his cheers, he'll go, woo, at the end like that. So man's 80 years old. Still going there. So
does he think he's Ric Flair? Is that the deal?
I don't know about it. I think he's been doing it at least as long or longer than Ric Flair. So
yeah, Derek Frisbee was at the game, and needless to say, I haven't heard anything from him. He's on suicide watch, I'd imagine, by now. Imagine if that's the game. It's like, young guy, doesn't have all the money in the world. It's like, that's the game he chose to go to because he felt they had the best chance to win, and then look what happens,
Yeah, that was the year I went to see him play against San Diego. So, but yeah, there was probably, I'd say 500 Browns fans in this place in Chicago. A lot of, out of towners living here and other people like me that just happen to be here for the week. So,
listen to Stefanski's quote. It's really frustrating to me, the players in the locker room. That's not how we play. Yes, it is.
No, it's totally how you play. It's totally how you play. You've been doing it the entire time you've been there. The previous coaches. It's how Brownsian could it be, right?
Yeah, and then everybody's going to want to point fingers. Put it on everybody. No, don't put it on everybody. Put it on the defensive secondary and their coach. Put it on the people who deserve it.
There is no way to give up that play. They have to go down. And then, okay, now we're going to guard against that play, and we're going to give underneath, and let them march down the field.
Because we're playing scared. I mean, you take swagger away.
It would have been better had they just let them go ahead and score, and we would have had more time to try to come back. And Brissett wouldn't have to try to force something in there.
I mean,
just score. Go ahead. Take it. Take the touchdown.
I swear to God, I saw Flacco's erection. He went from flaccid to erect. His eyes got like a cartoon character. It's like, that's our guy running out there all by himself. And why would, and again, Denzel Ward, and I'm calling him out. Whether it's his fault or not, I'm still calling him out. He's out there in coverage. Why is he trotting? And I mean, and letting the guy run by him. Why would you do that?
You'll have a chance to kind of review it when you look through it tomorrow. And but I'll tell you right now, the like I said, they were running 4 across. Nobody had over the top. It was a bunch of crap. It was a bad. Yeah. So yeah. Don't swear again.
Don't wear those colors in public. Don't wear those.
You see what I have on? I am pretty
for God's sakes.
Yes. I am. I can't go full screen here, but I got orange shorts on, the brown shirt, and the jacket, and yeah.
And you're a fool, man.
It is pretty clear that I nobody will bother me though on the subway ride back home because or to the hotel because they know I'm pretty much dangerous at this point.
Yeah, and thank you, Hector, for these great quotes. Stefanski on the thought of just running the clock out instead of scoring on Chubb's TD to make it 30-17. Need to communicate that to the huddle. Having said that, we need to close the game out. Yeah, I mean, tell me something, Harvard grad or whatever the fuck you are, Penn grad or whatever you are. Mr. Ivy League, blow me. I mean, I'm tired of the, put it on everybody, put it on everybody. No, I'm sorry. The offense, are you telling me put it on everybody means I'm supposed to put it on Kareem Hunt? I'm supposed to put it on Nick Chubb, that I'm supposed to put it on the offensive line, that I'm supposed to put it on Jacoby Brissett, that I'm supposed to put it on Amari Cooper? Fuck off with that nonsense. Make people accountable when they fuck up. That's what a coach is supposed to do. And if they keep fucking up, get them off the fucking field. That can't be that difficult a concept. There's more quotes coming. Hector's doing a great job for us here on how they let Davis get that open on the second to last touchdown. Obviously, guys not on the same page. It was very clear. It was very clear what we were doing. Talked about it with everybody on the sideline that it can't happen. Yeah. So, you know what I think? They did it intentionally. Whatever the case may be, get them off the field.
I get some of Chicago's finest on here with me.
Oh, hey, guys.
There they are. You're broadcasting live to a Browns network here.
Oh, my God. It's just unbelievable. More from Kevin, the loser. The guys need to win that game for our team, for our fans. It's really tough to watch. I get that. The guys need to win for our team. And you know what that means? We don't have a team. There is no sense of team when we give up the whole game. We keep giving up soft zone first down passes, and Grant Delpit turns around and blames whoever's closest to him. There is no concept of team. And Stefanski, if he wants to be delusional, can be delusional about it. And here comes Bronk from not so merry old England. Believe me, if the Queen hadn't died like she had, this would have killed her. No, I'm serious.
I can't say anything, man. I am just like flabbergasted.
I mean, see the Queen. Those motherfuckers, goddammit. Oh, British accent. I'm sorry. Oh, those motherfuckers. God damn it, they did it again. Oh, I am having an aneurysm. Aneurysm. Okay.
She'd be kicking the corgis right now if she were a Browns fan.
Get out of the way,
the corgis would be drop kicked. fucking dogs. It's the curse of the elf. I'm just sitting here stunned. On my TV screen, I've just left the NFL logo up there. I can't even be bothered to move it,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
No, it's not unbelievable. That's the whole point. It's too fucking believable.
Yep.
It is too fucking believable.
At this point, it's expected. Yeah, at this point, it's expected for us to figure out some way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
I mean, about an hour ago, Garrett Wilson had a helmet drilled into his back, rupturing his L3, L4, and L5, and then he comes back, and you knew he was going to, you said it, that he was going to get the game-winning pass and the game-winning touchdown.
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Yep.
I will say that was a straight Ohio State play. That is like right out of the Ohio State playbook. That little slant right behind the linebacker. That was straight. I mean, I've seen that so many times with them. It was like, oh, there they go. You know
why it happens? The reason it happens is it's a reminder to those idiots in the draft room that they keep passing on wide receivers over and over and over again. And we're the guys who are always trying to protect the lead at the end of the game rather than putting somebody away. We always defensive minded, and we're always not aggressive. And we don't have the ability to even do what a 37-year-old quarterback had. And that was to have a wide receiver, not a bunch of wide receivers, one. All it took was one wide receiver to beat this team.
I mean, this was more ignominious than the drive and the fumble, because those were games that we didn't probably deserve to win. But this game, we were 13 points up. I mean, how?
You know something? And I'm so sick and tired. You win as a team in this league. This is Stefanski. You lose as a team in this league. We're going to own it. We're not going to hide from it. We're going to own it. Well, you know something? I have something substantial between my legs, and you can own that.
Well, you know what he should have done? He should have just had a 10-second press conference saying, "We're going to sort this out. Goodbye," and then not put up with having to make all these stupid cliches that he doesn't believe in. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah, and this is the case, Christopher. The quarterback, the wideouts, the linemen, the running backs, they played their asses off. And the thing that bothers me about all of this is that the coach, by saying, this is one we got to win for our team, that's basically saying to the defense, you're part of the team and you let the team down. But which is obvious to the naked eye. What I don't understand, so help me God, is why that defensive coordinator is still with this team.
Yeah, it's not Brumstradamus to go every week saying we're going to get killed on some Sendejo'd 60-yard touchdown pass. I mean, because I wish I could put money on that shit, and it happens every fucking week now.
And Lenny the Cow is even out of his cow outfit, and it's the same thing. How do you come in against a 37-year-old guy who's immobile and not put pressure on him, not run blitz schemes at him? How is it that you would do that? And it's because the defensive coordinator believes, well, we have this running game, and if we just, if it takes them a long time to score, then, we'll eventually run the clock out and win a close one. And that's not what you want from a defensive coordinator. You want somebody who's got, some zip and some pep in their step. And that's not Joe Woods. Joe Woods should be gone.
Where we're soft is down the middle of the defense. Fucking linebackers and safeties. Maybe not include JOK in that, but we're getting beat over the middle all the time. Left, right, and center, running, passing.
Here's our team leader. Garrett Miles. That's tough. We let up on defense. We let up as a team in the 11th hour. Well, what are you going to do about it? I mean, recognizing the fact that you quit. You quit. You gave up. You thought the game was over. You thought you'd won the game, and you stopped playing with intensity. And you know something, Miles Garrett? Just go get your money somewhere. Maybe you'll have a team around you that cares about winning. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know. But if you're smart enough to identify that you let up on defense, why do you keep doing it week after week? You start jumping off sides again. You start doing stupid ass things. You start doing things that allow. Why were they allowing receivers to catch passes and run right out of bounds without even trying to tackle them? Why were they doing this?
Because they're the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, so identifying the problem, when you're part of the problem, Miles Garrett, you're part of the problem. So I don't want you identifying it. I think that for fans, I mean, all I can do is say, I put my money into a business, and if somebody was getting in the way of that business being successful, they were out the door. Now, that didn't mean that I walked around with a bloody hatchet, because that was not the case. I chose to motivate my people to do better, to work harder, and to reward them when they did well. That was the point. But here, what we have is a coach who literally aids and abets the quitters. Instead of singling them out and saying, you're the reason why we lost this game, we just put it on everybody.
You know what they should be doing right now? They should be out in that empty stadium running fucking laps around it. That's what they should be doing. All fucking 45 or 53 of them, or however many there are, and the coaches. Because
how old are you, Wable? How old are you? I'm 65. You got me beat? What else does old Miles Garrett have to say? On Corey Davis's wide open TD to cut the lead to 30-24. I can't explain. As far as those plays, they're unacceptable. Well, nobody seems to be able to explain it. And as long as you're not calling anybody out for being responsible or accountable, nobody has to explain themselves.
Well, if we can't explain them, then we won't be able to stop them Thursday.
Well, for me, I don't care. I'm not doing a post-game show on Thursday
night.
Man.
2 weeks in and you're already done. That's
no. Normally on late night game, I wouldn't do it anyway because I have to get up. I have things to do. But honestly, why should I go the extra mile when the players clearly aren't interested in going the extra mile?
Well, you got to do Peter Alice.
No, I'm too mad to do Peter. I'll do him tomorrow.
You'll do him tomorrow. Huh?
Yeah. Maybe his wife will do him tonight. I don't know. You know, and it does. You know, and again,
there's no point in being mad though. We knew this. You said the rocks. I mean, you knew it. You can't be mad. You can't
too
be
many
mad.
times. You see the team let down his guard. They're sure to win. And they put up the graphic, hadn't been 2-0 since 1993. And, everybody just kind of exhaled and they quit playing. And the other team played through. And I'll say this. The coach from the Jets, Saleh, he deserves everything good that comes his way.
Oh, God, yeah.
He won with a team with a 37-year-old immobile quarterback. And they played hard as they could. And they knew how to capitalize at the end and knew how to play, 60 minutes of football.
And they had some really shady ticky-tacky penalties called against them, which we didn't have. So it's like the refs were even trying to give us the game, and we didn't take it.
I think that you have to realize, and Hector's pointing it out, glass half full, glass half empty, glass totally empty for me. I never believed that this football team could do shit. I never thought that, because again, Kareem Hunt will be gone at the end of the year. That we'll lose all of the good players that we have. To me, this organization is a waste. If you really want to get behind something,
was a tough one.
And I know that the Guardians lost today.
Actually,
it can happen. All right, it can happen. But they're overachieving with what they have. And I want to see the Cavaliers, and I want to see how they do with young players getting a little bit more seasoned, and with Donovan Mitchell coming in. But this team, I don't really, I don't bleed on brown and orange anymore. I don't, because they don't.
Wow.
They don't care. And Amari Cooper should be ashamed of himself for his lack of effort on the onside kick. Absolutely ashamed of himself. And I know he had a good game.
He wasn't ready for the kick. I mean, just by his
he
position.
He didn't think that he was going to be involved in the play.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
He didn't go for it.
He wasn't ready for it. He wasn't in the right, hunched over position that you would need to be to scoop up that ball. And he thought the ball was going the other way away from him.
And listen to this. Here's it. I think every man in that locker room should point the finger at themselves, coaches included. A little rip on Joe Woods there. I mean, then why don't we come out? If you're the team leader, Miles Garrett, instead of just being vague and generalized, why don't you, and I'm not saying you say this in public, but go behind closed doors and say, you need to get rid of this guy because he's creating a ton of friction between the players and who play secondary and play the defense, and we can't have that. And the team is breaking apart.
Hey, I'd include the front office and the owner too.
Wow, that's how you get fired.
But hey, they don't pay me any money.
Yeah, the only silver lining is that everyone else lost. No, it isn't, because we'll continue losing and they'll win. They'll win, and you'll see on Thursday how bad the Steelers beat us up. And again, it makes no difference to me. At this point, you can just thrash the team, and they don't care. I feel badly for those who do. My eyes tell me, because I know guys from experience and work and business, those who have their head in the game and those who don't. And the people who don't, who are selfish, are people like Grant Delpit. He is an immature, and he's not even a very gifted guy at the NFL level. He blames people around him. And if there's one ball that's thrown near him that's intercepted, he starts talking trash and making all kinds of gestures. You know the people who are trouble, get rid of the people who are trouble. And it's just that simple. The eye test never fails. And there is no silver lining, Brian. You should be 2-0. You should be in first place.
Yeah, we're going to get a little basketball here.
You're not. And the only silver lining in this is that eventually Jimmy Haslam will pass away.
Sell
That's
stuff
it.
for a living. I mean, seriously, think
it.
about it, right? The only team they managed to beat.
I have to mute him.
It's hilarious.
He's trying to explain himself being a Browns fan,
How do you do it, man? How do you try it in a foreign country being a Browns fan? That's even harder.
Garrett is dead on. Well, then point the finger at yourself, Garrett.
Garrett is dead. Everybody's dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Queen's dead.
You don't play 60-minute games, you're not going to win. And now we're going to get the second guessers. Listen to this. If Nick Chubb takes a knee, the game is over. If the Browns don't try to score, the game would have been over. If the Browns take 3 straight knees, we win. If they recover an onside kick. You know something, Jerome? The only thing you and Curry have in common is if I put you in a big pot and boiled both of you, and what can I tell you? If no, you go up 30-17 in that situation. Yeah. That's what you do. All right? Because nothing's certain. You act as if you can have a clean exchange and take a knee. You might have fumbled the ball. Don't give me this nonsense. You're a dummy. If you don't have anything smarter than that to type on this program, you're going to get called out by the host. You're dumb. You're going to blame Nick Chubb, who did what he did. And that's what makes you a dick-sucking fan. Now go away. Go away. I mean, that's foolishness. If. All they had to do was cover receivers. That's all they had to do. All they had to do was recover an onside kick instead of running away from the football and hoping that it would somehow bounce out of bounds, which is what they did. All of these things that happened not because Nick Chubb worked his ass off and to get into the end zone and to help the team all day. That's not the reason why. God, that just is infuriating when fans say stupid things like that. I can only imagine what Pete Franklin had to live through. Your phone calls, Bronk. That's what Pete Franklin had to live through.
I think I sent him to an earlier grade than he otherwise would have had. But anyway.
Yeah.
So what does Topaz the Wolf think of all this?
No.
Well, it could be worse. We could be all Brett Favre right now.
Well, now explain this to me, Hector. It says in post-game presser, he seemed to suggest that Jadeveon Clowney could have played through injury, but refused to. Now, I want an explanation of that. I mean, how did he suggest that? Because I don't know. Clowney's always hurt, and he's hurt again. And I told you he would be one of the first ones to go down. And I told you that the first one who would go down would be Hubbard, and he hasn't even played. He just keeps getting sick and then injuring something and then getting sick and then, on and on. It's just here's our regular panelist, Double P. It's going to be a long season. Well, they're all long seasons, and I at this point, this is like therapy. I want to get all this out of my system so I can just go on with my day, sleep well, get on with what I have to do tomorrow. because this team isn't worth the effort and the time and the years that I've put into this. I mean, you have no idea how difficult it was to stream stuff, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when
Back
there
in the
was,
day, yeah.
when there wasn't a really true broadband available, the amount of money out of my own pocket I spent on equipment that enabled me to have a co-host on the program with zero latency. I mean, there were $4,000 pieces of equipment, and there were two of them just so I could have a person on the air with me. How much of my time and energy I've put into this over the years, and every fucking year I see players who are being paid millions of dollars and they don't give a shit. They just scoop up the money and they don't care. And frankly, I don't care either. I really don't. It's just irritating to me because I can't imagine that what you would do for a living, that you would care so little about it, that you would be so passionless about it. I can't imagine that you choose something that pays you well and you can't even get excited about it. Now again, Hector, you're going off the deep end. I don't know what you're saying. I'm saying, okay, here we go. I'm sorry. I got you out of order here. Lamented the fact the fans booed at the end of the game, feels the players should be respected, doesn't want fans giving up on the team this early. Well, it's too late. I've given up. Bronk's given up. Hammer's given up. Every one of the people who've been around this show for more than a decade have given up. The fact of the matter, Miles, is that you obviously take plays off, so you give up. And the fans, what do? The money drains out of their pockets, and this is the crap that they have to put up with. So yeah, they're going to boo. You betcha. And it never gets loud enough in that stadium to begin with. Burn the fucker down.
It's a badly designed stadium. Like I said the other day, the sound, if there is any, goes straight up in the air, and you never hear about visiting teams being intimidated coming into that stadium.
No, I don't think it's the fans' fault that he's saying. I think what he's saying is that it really doesn't do anybody's attitude any good to hear, 67,000 fans booing. But the fact of the matter is they should be booed because they're not trying hard. And this is the only right that the paying customer has to express themselves, because they don't do podcasts like this. They don't have a history of this. This is a lot of money out of the common man's pocket to show up to something like this, to watch a bunch of people who are earning probably 10 to 100 to 200 times to 300 times more that they earn. And they're shelling out the money to watch this and paying for food that's overpriced and paying for parking that's overpriced. And that's the lack of effort they see. I'm all for booing. And let me do it for you. Boo! Boo! Boo!
See, I think the reason why teams aren't intimidated is because the team sucks. And then they're not intimidated because the fans can do whatever the hell they want to. It really doesn't matter because the team they're playing sucks. So that's kind of summing it up in a short phrase.
So blame me now.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and blame me now.
I'll blame Moo.
I'm all in favor of booing. I'm going to boo every week.
Moo.
No, you want me to respect you? Boo! Boo! Okay, there. And that'll be what I'm going to do. The first thing after every loss, I'm going to boo. Because something, we haven't had a goddamn thing to cheer in so long with that team and that organization. If let me put it to you this way, and I can't thank you enough, Hector, for sharing these idiotic quotes by players and coaches especially. And the press is going to eat all of them alive with this stupidity. But to be honest with you, I'm appreciative of people who get me information because I can't be listening to these post-game pressers. But there's nothing to get excited about as far as excited, amped up, as far as we're going to win. Because after this game, we're going to lose. And I'm positive of it. And every week I'm going to come on and say that. And everyone who's in that stadium walks away, all 67,000, saying if they can lose that game to the New York Jets, they can lose to any football team any time. And you really think that if we ever got to a point where we played a game that really mattered, that we would win it? Fuck no. It's that simple. And, I'm not no sheep.
Meh.
I'm on the lamb, but I ain't no sheep. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to do that. Fuck these athletes. They make millions of dollars. They have a lifestyle that I can't even relate to. Look at what's behind me. I don't live in a palatial mansion. I don't have 6 sports cars. I don't have an entourage of good-looking young ladies crawling up my legs. I don't have that. And I can't relate to that.
You have us, though. You have us.
I can't relate to it. And I don't want to relate to it. I mean, boo.
What does Mr. Celery think about all this? Where is he?
Oh.
Bring out Mr. Celery.
No, believe me, he's sitting on the white marshmallow of Hope's face.
Wow.
You notice how I didn't even bring the white marshmallow out this year.
You didn't. No.
Nope. Nor will I.
There was no hope.
No, there's no
Everybody's
reason.
dead.
Yeah, it's and this is where all of the lack of confidence emanates. I mean, the coaching staff has no belief. They have no stomach for close situations. The head coach is a robot who has no real emotions, and he can't motivate men to try. So he's the wrong guy for the job.
Yeah, he's not a Vulcan because he's not as smart as Spock. So, yeah, he sucks. Yep. Where's Hammer now? He's in some store. There he is.
Yeah. And really, this is the case. And the media now will paint this up with the same as the drive and the fumble. And they're going to have a heyday with this. And you know something? I'm not going to defend them. Why should I? I mean, there's nothing left to defend. And the culture will never change because the players get paid well to come here. They don't perform because we have an owner who's a shyster and a series of head coaches who are just blind. They don't know how to motivate men to play a game that will kill them later in life. That is the problem. And, what killed me is watching players really getting seriously hurt. And it's like J.J. Watt gets seriously hurt. And Tomlin comes on, we got great news. He's only going to miss 4 weeks. He could play again. Because Mike Tomlin doesn't give a shit if he rips that pec muscle out for the rest of his life and is a cripple. He doesn't care. If you haven't figured it out yet, the way you win football is to be Bill Belichick. You cheat, you lie, you blame players, you get rid of players and humiliate players when they make bad plays. That's what you do. That's the league that you're coaching in. And there's no problem. Tomlin doesn't care about injuring our quarterback or anyone else's people, because when his people get injured, he just says, put a Band-Aid on it and get back out here, and I don't give a fuck if it shortens your life. There's no Ivy League shit going on. There's none of it. And I wish the Browns would just stop with this nonsense. Just stop.
if you wish hard enough, Bronk, they'll move to London for you, so you can just even continue this for the rest of your life. No, thanks, okay.
Hey, I'm too far away now to pop into London at a whim. So yeah, games will be at a decent time of day though. They wouldn't put us on 1 in the morning.
Yeah, and this is true. The players have had a problem with Joe Woods since last year, and it's not ever going to change. Why we continue with him, I have no idea. But that's what the organization wants, and that's what they get. And honestly, what I know in my heart is that Jacoby Brissett can't play any better than that.
Oh, he was fine. He was he was the man.
And the fact is, he did everything he could to win the game, and all he had to do was sit on the sideline and watch people do their job in a bare minimum fashion, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah, Jacoby should have been able to take off his helmet with 1.5 minutes left and say, I've done my bit. I'm not going to have to go out there and play again today. But no.
Double P, yes, I'll be watching the game on Thursday, but I do not, in night games, even waste my time with doing post-game shows because of this.
That's the thing for
Can you
me.
imagine if this had happened, I wouldn't be sleeping. I'm so mad.
I mean, these Thursday night games are 1 a.m., 20 minutes after the hour. That's when they start for me. So you're looking at halftime at 3 in the morning. Yeah, it kind of fucks up my Friday.
Yeah, and as far as Myles Garrett is concerned, his quote, shame on them, about the fans. We give our hearts and souls for them. We will get this corrected, but we need to be respected by the fans. And, you're wrong. You need to respect yourself first. Because if you are looking for the adulation of others to motivate you to do your job, then you're a lousy employee. And I will tell you that with all my heart and soul, that there isn't a single person who worked with me, for me, in my business that succeeded without caring.
Yeah.
And when I got there, before I bought the radio stations that I bought, they were not winning, and these people deserved to win, and we got the goddamn thing turned around, and their attitude, they worked hard, and they succeeded, and they earned everything, and they deserved everything. And they deserve as much credit as I would deserve. Because in the end, you either respect yourself or you do not. Don't ask the fans to give you respect automatically because you're Myles fucking Garrett, and because you can pose in pictures with mentally challenged children. Please do not expect me to respect you when you only play 30 to 35% of the snaps as far as full bore effort wise. Don't ask me to respect a team that refuses to cover people and who is lackadaisical about understanding what their responsibilities on the field are. Don't ask me to respect. I have zero respect for the players. None. I told you the people I respect. The people on the offensive side of the ball won this ball game. And the people on the defensive side lost this ball game. And we've been saying this year after year after year. We have an offensive line that's good. We've got running backs who are good. And people playing hard. And then we have these bums on defense and the coordinator who's a bum. And I don't respect those people. I don't respect Greg Newsome. Why should I? Why should I respect Grant Delpit? Why should I? Why should I respect an interior defensive line that didn't even come close to Flacco? Why should I? I don't, and I won't.
I'm ready for you to break into some Who here. Why should I care? Why should I care?
Sounds like the Who, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's Project All-Tree saying that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Anyway,
what it sounded like. Yeah.
all right. Trying to add some levity so I don't try to jump off this platform onto the train. Really, at this point.
Yeah, don't jump off the L train.
That's about where we're at this point. It's like I was really expected to be able to hang out there, enjoy this victory celebration, have a great game. The offensive comes in, and Cade York, the hero of the team. I saw a guy wearing a Cade York jersey. I'm like,
Oh,
damn, that was
wow.
fast.
Oh, poor guy.
So I'm like, unless he's a relative, I don't know. But
Wow.
it was, there was also, I saw a Suggs jersey. I saw a couple of Newsom jerseys. There's a little kid wearing a Newsom jersey, and I really wanted to say something to him, but I really was like, no, don't do that. That's, what, he doesn't know. But his dad was wearing one too, and I kind of wanted to, report him to Children's Services for child abuse, but it was bad. It just, that's the kind of, like you said, Moo, when you watch a team like that, where the offense does everything they can to do it, and they're doing it with Jacoby Brissett, who's limited into what he can do as far as huge plays, and he played within himself, and he didn't make a mistake. He made one at the end where they were pressing, okay, and he was very upset about it. But the rest of the game, he played really a very solid game. In fact, at one point in time, he had the only pass he had was one he threw away. Just a couple of really good plays. The line played well. Obviously, Chubb and Hunt are just beasts, and it's they do everything they can, and then you get the same thing that happened a week ago. How do you not fix that? You're getting paid money to do this. How do you put yourself in that same defense, and the same thing happens where nobody covers over the top? That guy was so wide open that there's no way. Oh, well, we made a mistake in coverage. You can't do that. And that's what they do over and over and over again. And we continue to watch this and keep beating ourselves, But,
and Hector is basically, and I'm behind the timeline, but the whole thing about, Clowney not wanting, that there was a suggestion made by Myles Garrett that Clowney could have played if he was wanted to, but he opted not to. And Hector, and I said, where did that come from? He said, I copied and pasted it from Mary Kay Cabot's Twitter, but it seems like it's now been deleted. And look, you got to understand, they are not our friends. The media wants this to happen to the team. They want the team to fail. And Mary Kay Cabot, I don't know her from a hole in the wall, but she's a yellow journalist. And, she can go ahead and blow Baker Mayfield, who lost today to the New York Giants, and could only put 16 points on the board and completed less than 50% of his passes. So please don't tell me my business. The bottom line is, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it's a hit and run kind of deal by the media. And I appreciate you posting that, Hector, because, this is what they do. That's yellow journalism.
So Brian Daboll is 2-0. Good for him.
Yeah.
Brian Daboll.
Yeah. Oh God. Another news. Trey Lance carted off the field. Yeah. So this was supposed to be his breakthrough game, and he may have broken something else. Wow. I was thinking this too, Tori. Brownie the elf comes back.
It's the curse of the elf.
Wait.
I'm gonna copyright that. The curse of the elf.
No. Get that off the field. I have no problem with Jadeveon Clowney. Obviously, Mary Kay Cabot did, and she thinks that she can pull that off because nobody in the organization is going to call her out. I'm sure that somebody told her that it was 50-50. He could go in and play if he wanted to, and he decided he wasn't gonna, and she ran with it by suggesting that somebody suggested that, and then she immediately pulls it off. And the organization has her back. This is how it works, and it's really too bad. It's...
I need a a homily, a Jerry Springer homily to sum this all up, because my arm's getting tired holding this phone.
You need what?
A Jerry Springer homily to sum this all up for us frustrated and long-suffering fans. We need.
Yeah, Joe Shipley is Shipleying himself because 4 touchdowns to in the fourth quarter as the Ravens managed to blow a 38-14
they got
lead.
Harbaugh. They got their own problems. They have a Harbaugh. So
yeah, well, I mean, but as far as anything that you want something from.
Yeah, I need like some, put it all in perspective so that we don't jump off the ledge here.
Okay. All right. So this would be Jerry Springer at the end of the show.
Jerry Springer homily, end of the show homily. Yeah. For people who don't know Jerry Springer, who were not born when he had a show.
Yeah. All right. So we got to put this all together and make the fans feel better before they.
Put it all together and make us all feel better so we can go to bed.
Just remember one thing. You've just gotten done watching a football game, and it is an athletic competition. It in no way affects your performance of how you approach things with your life, your family, or your job. The bottom line is this, that what you learn is respect. And it's more important that you respect yourself than you gain respect because of your status from other people. So the thing to remember is, as long as you have self-respect, then you've really won the game. There.
That was beautiful. I'm going to start crying now. Oh, my God. Oh, tears coming down my eyes.
My goodness.
Wow.
I'm so far behind on comments.
You should clip that out as a little segment and post that to Cleveland Browns Twitter or something, or Myles Garrett's Twitter, your little homily there.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we're going to believe Mary Kay Cabbagehead, But she, before she was just like witless, and she would just post things like, 10 minutes after other people had broken news.
Yeah, before she was stupid. Now she's just like evil and stupid.
Evil. She's mean.
She's mean. Evil. Yeah,
and and it's really strange. Look at this, threw for over 450 yards.
Wow.
And this is what happens. You see, you're rewarded for being this way, and for those people who don't understand, I have personal problems with people like Howard Stern. I have nothing against Howard Stern's ability to make a living, but I know things, and I've told them on the air in the past, I'm not going to get into it again, that what he did cost people their lives, and in the pursuit of ratings and his popularity, I can't abide by people like this, and I can't abide by Mary Kay. And again, I'll end this broadcast by saying, cancel your subscription to Cleveland.com. These people
absolutely.
Are reporting untruths. They're just stirring up dirt, and it has nothing to do with the problems the team has that God only knows. We all know we've got a lot of problems, but it's more than that. It's you don't want to be channeling money into a source that is designed to create negativity and chaos and really only benefits. And it's the same thing about Donald Trump. If you want to vote for Ron DeSantis and you're a Republican, fine. But you're not going to get me to ever say anything good about Donald Trump, because I know too much about him. And it was long before he became the president of the United States. You're never going to convince me that he is worth a damn. In fact, I would tell you that somebody should have killed him a long time ago, not when he was president, long ago, for screwing people out of money. This guy's bad news. If you want to believe him, you go ahead. If he's your Messiah, then the devil is your Messiah. All right? And I'll tell you the same thing about Kamala Harris. If you think that Kamala Harris is the best person to run the United States of America, God help your soul. Okay? God help your soul. These people are sucking off the tit, and it is pathetic that they suck off the tit of all of this wealth that they're providing the already wealthy. It's all about looking at what your eyes tell you. What my eyes tell me is the defense of the Cleveland Browns don't get along. They don't communicate. They don't try hard, and they're not in it to win it. That's what it tells me. Now, the Guardians, I understand. They go through periods where they can't score runs because they don't hit home runs, and they going to try to beat you with good pitching and singles, putting together a lot of singles. But they're trying hard, and they're taking extra bases. They're stealing bases. Stephen Kwan is throwing himself against walls in the outfield to catch fly balls. He's diving full bore to catch balls instead of guys like Schwartz stopping in the middle of their patterns. The eye test tells you who's trying and who's not. And Karis LeVert didn't try for the Cavaliers last year. He didn't try for the Pacers. He didn't try while he was a New Jersey Net or a Brooklyn Net. He just didn't. And I want to see what the Cavaliers have. I want to see who's putting out, who's trying, and who's not. Those are the people I respect, and those are the people I'll cheer for. But I ain't going to cheer for somebody just because they're my team. These people it's an embarrassment to me. What I saw today is an embarrassment, and they deserve nothing but derision. Just derision. And has anybody else, before I go, has anybody else seen a replay of that last interception by, because I'm going to get off the air and I'm going to look for it, by Brissett? Like, did he just throw it into a place where nobody was? Somebody was supposed to be? Somebody went the other way? I mean, I'm curious. I'm going to go check it out. But they did not show that on television. So, you know, and again, we already know that John Johnson III will always be the first one who says something because he's a rabble rouser and a troublemaker as well. Not everybody was playing the same coverage. Well, have the fucking courage to tell us who's not, okay? Because it's happening now the first 2 weeks of the season, clearly, and don't be hinting at things. If you want to say something, have the courage and the support of the people who are trying hard. Stop protecting the guilty. And I will say this, when it's about police officers, and no, I'm not for defunding the police, but if a policeman shoots an unarmed man and is in the wrong, then another police officer should turn the motherfucker in, okay? This is not protect your own. That's not the way this works, John Johnson III. If you have something to say it, or shut the fuck up. All this does is everybody now in that defensive room is going to be pointing fingers. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. Had enough of it. I've had enough of John Johnson III. Nothing good's happened since he got here. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Bronk, thanks for hanging in there. And thanks also to Hammer Time, who gave of his time freely on a business trip to Chicago. And we'll be back again tomorrow, and you're not going to hear anything different from me tomorrow. But I do appreciate the support on the program, and I'm sorry for the fans. And fans, keep booing. Keep giving your feedback to the ownership of this team. Don't be whipped puppies. Don't do that. I mean, the fact of the matter is, I'm all for cheering when somebody does something that's cheer-worthy, but I have absolutely no desire to promote a bunch of people who don't fucking try. And I will support those who do, and I will give them by name credit on this program. And the people, as I find out and look more into this over the next day, who really fucked up, I'm going to call them out by name. And that's because I have more integrity than John Johnson III. That's why. And self-respect. And he don't have no self-respect because he's played shitty since he came to Cleveland. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. See you again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, sorry, folks, but Hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.
Boo. Boo.